What better runner to showcase it than the world's best player?
True statement.
I'm very attached to this run and it hasn't even started yet.
I know, right? Same.
Alright, Justin, you can give me the countdown, and I'm actually gonna hop out of call so you guys can do your thing.
Oh, okay.
I will give you a 10-minute or 10-second.
A 10-minute countdown, let's go.
10 minutes.
Alright, get comfy, everyone.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait 1 second, sorry.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I didn't have... Oh, there it is.
Make sure your controls are good before we start.
Alright, I'm ready.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Smurf.
Geo.
Good luck, gamer.
Alright, see you boys.
Alright, well, this is a run.
This is the run.
Are you sure that the crop is right, Boyd?
Yeah, the crop's wrong.
Okay, now it should be good.
Yeah, it looks fine now.
Yep.
Alright, so, right off the bat, intro stage, no RNG, it's all execution, just like in X2. You finally get to play as Zero for the first time in the X series. So, it's going to start off with the first X section, where he's just going to do some dash lemons and some green buster shots to take out all these enemies. And then he's going to come upon this cutscene here with Mac, who betrays them and captures X. And then Zero will come in, and we will actually make use of the Zero Saber a little bit later. But it's just a little tease of what you can do later in the game. Zero comes with a 28-unit health bar. He only has 1 life, so if he dies, he's gone for good. So, fortunately, we won't ever have to use him in the game until Zopper 2. So you see Darren is actually sabering against the wall. You get a little bit of extra height when you saber right after a jump. And then he gets hit by the little mace ball there on purpose to damage boost. And then he quickly charges up again with another buster shot, and a saber will take out Mac for good. And then we go back to X. X is the only one that can fight bosses, with the exception of one, which we'll get to a little bit later. Dash lemons in this game are nerfed to the extent that they only work on regular enemies. They won't work on bosses, but Mo here is the lone exception. If Darren gets an opportunity here to use it, you'll see it'll do a little bit more damage than the normal lemon does. So he starts off with, okay, there's the dash lemon, and he's going to end here with a regular green charge. So it's using the CFO strat from X2 to a little bit of utilization there to get a little bit better DPS. And one notable thing is that the explosions here take quite a bit longer than X2. I think X2's last about 10 seconds. The ones here last about 12 to 13 seconds. So in 100%, we actually have to go to Tunnel Rhino first. Just for the simple fact that we need the drill, and we can't get any of the other items blocked by the little boulders just a little bit later. So this will be our mandatory revisit. And this stage is actually one of the more difficult stages to play in the game, just because there's a lot of climbing, there's a lot of ascending and descending. Oh yeah, Tunnel Rhino, of course.
Tunnel Rhino.
Tunnel Rhino.
We all love Tunnel Rhino.
It's a banger. It's the same 4 notes, like, for however long you are here. There's like another 4 notes later on, but it's mostly just the first 4 notes.
So Darren just comes in with a full charge, gets inside the L Crusher's hitbox, and starts mashing his dick off. Very simple.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, Justin. In Hondo, do you fight bit and bite in the Maverick stages or no? You don't
You
fight
fight
them at all.
them, but you don't want to kill them.
It's mandatory. You have to fight bit and bite at some point in the game to finish it.
Mhm.
Tunnel Rhino.
Tunnel Rhino.
Sucks. Tunnel Rhino.
Rhino.
Tunnel Rhino. Tunnel Rhino. Sucks.
Are there more lyrics in that one?
Yeah, there's more of them. I didn't get a chance to use say
They're
it.
the only ones that matter.
We'll come back to it later. This is a revisiting stage. So, what you see Darren doing here, he's actually using the CFO strat again. As long as you don't die after the midpoint, this is all Rhino does. He'll just go back and forth. And once Rhino gets down to low HP, you'll see that he starts breaking out the rainbow charge.
Is the rainbow charge luck?
No. Every Maverick will have their own desperation attack, but each Maverick will do them at different HP values. Like Rhino will start doing his about 12 to 10 HP and below. And you'll see some of the other ones, like Buffalo, can actually do his at right about half health and below.
Yeah, but I meant like once you reach that threshold, is it RNG whether their attack they do is normal or desperate?
Well, it's kind of fixed on Rhino's because he'll actually charge at you. Once he hits the wall, he'll turn around and do a big rainbow charge really quickly. But sometimes Rhino can actually try to fake you, and he'll stop mid-charge in the middle of the room and try to go the other way on you. So there's a little bit of randomness. And okay, Darren tried to go for a strat where if you spawn a block that can be damaged by the drill as it comes on screen, it just completely obliterates it, and you don't have to wait for the drills to actually destroy it. You'll probably see that attempt in Neon Tiger when he goes for the Buster upgrade.
I kind of like Blizzard Buffalo though. Neat stage in my opinion. You can go really fast in that stage.
So Darren's coming up on the bootless trick. It's similar to Iceless, the next one, but the setup's a little bit easier to do. He's just going to double kick against that wall there. Nice. He gets the first try.
World's
Nice,
best player, by the way.
It's a nice, reliable setup there.
Nice.
I find bootless to be a lot easier than Iceless, the next one. That's just my opinion. That might be shared among other players, but that's my general idea of it. So now he's got the air dash boots, and he's going to utilize them in the Buffalo fight to do the loop here on him. If you're in the air when Buffalo decides to do his attack, he's just going to turn right around and he'll ram himself into the wall. And he's going to alternate with the Buster Charge and a Lemon. Now that he's got a boss room with a lot more room. So you see he's in the air when he turns around and he just goes right back and rams himself into the wall. And Darren has to adjust the dash jumping. As you see, the cycle will eventually be off sync, so he has to kind of do like a little different movement strat to kind of keep himself in cycle.
Nice.
Yeah, very clean CFO. So the big rooms that he went in through during the midpoint of the stage is normally where you fight bit and bite, but they don't appear until after you've beaten 2 Mavericks. So during this big cutscene is when you get an introduction to their appearance. Bit will be the first one that he has to he has to fight them at some point during the 8 Mavericks, but Bit will only show up in one of the next 3 Maverick stages. If he doesn't show up in the 3rd or 4th, he will automatically show up on the 5th one. And then when you got 3 Maverick stages left, Bite will show up randomly in one of those 3. But you have to fight them at some point during the 8 Mavericks. There's no way around it. And as Void mentioned earlier, You can destroy them if the last hit they take that depletes their health bar is with their actual weakness. We don't want to do that because that will call for a different boss later. So for Tigers, he's just going to use the drill, which will deactivate their hitbox just long enough for him to dash through so he can get that sustain. And he's going to attempt to do the spawn of the barrier. Well, I think he didn't have a chance to do it. Unfortunate, yeah. You got to go through that hallway pretty well. If you go through it fast enough, there's a third drill wing that's supposed to spawn. If you go fast enough, it doesn't spawn, and he will be able to do the drill strat. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But it's no big deal. So now that he's got the leg upgrade and the arm upgrade, he's able to climb ladders up and down really, really fast. And he's also has the neon jump available to him now. And you'll see that a little later in the stage.
Nice one cycle.
Nice, yep. He barely got it though.
Yeah.
Yo, nice.
I don't know if he does the neon strat, but you can actually go in with the second neon charge, neon jump the buster shot into him, and quickly mash into ice, and you can kill him really, really fast. So you'll see here with the utilization of the ladders, how the buster and leg upgrade combine to do the fast climbing. You'll see that at the first part of Doppler 1. So he's charging up for ice here, just in case Bit decides to show up. And he's got the strat prepared, and he does show up, which is good. You don't want him to show up in the 5th Maverick stage. So
Yeah, because you use the ice weapon a lot in Toxic Seahorse's level.
So yeah, he's setting up a CFO here, and he didn't quite get it. He wants to hit him with the charged ice twice. That's going to deal 5 damage. And see, the problem here, he's got 3 health, and he can't hit him with another ice because that would kill him and make him go through the explosion sequence. So he just saved himself about 13 seconds by not destroying him there. It's okay if you accidentally destroy one of the pair, but don't destroy both of them. So there's the double neon, which lets him get over to that heart tank. And now he's setting up for the first hit on Tiger. Tiger is not officially weak to this weapon, but it is a soft weakness. So the charge will deal 2 damage to him. And then he's going to quickly go over to Buster, and he's going to follow the normal 80% strat, where you don't fire a charge shot unless he's attacking himself with the race.
Nice hitbox, by the way.
And every time he does the race blaster, or whenever his AI executes another move, his iframes cancel immediately. So if you notice, his health bar will take a quick couple of hits in succession. But when he goes into the gold charge like this, the only way to just save as much time is just charge up another ice. And that wasn't a really bad fight, considering what happened.
Yeah. Only 2 desperation slashes.
Yeah. And as long as you got health, you can kind of deboost into them if you want. Because he will run across the room until he comes to you, or you pass over him and he'll stop his running. So you can kind of deboost and just stand there, and that'll just end his attack early. But you gotta watch your health when you do that. So Gravity Beetle is probably one of the first of the vertical stages in this game, where you're gonna see a lot of climbing involved. Saw a little bit of it in Rhino, but it's a little bit more prevalent here. So he's already caught Bit, so he's not even bothering to charge up the ice here. He doesn't need to. So he's going to go for another bootless jump right here to get the frog upgrade for the rod armor. And that platform has a really deceptive hitbox to it. So the ledge is actually not as far out as it looks, but it's just So he's going to use neon to scale the elevator here without the actual elevator. Nice.
Good climb.
Pretty good.
Yeah, neon jumps is one of the reasons X3 is such a demanding game execution-wise. If you're trying to save every frame possible, hitting these frame-perfect tricks is insane.
So neons are frame perfect. Oh, I gotcha. So
Yes.
you have to. Can you explain what exactly is behind the neon jumps, Justin? I'm always confused about how the exact mechanic about that.
I'll get to that here probably in Catfish. That's a good stage to really explain what happens. For Beetle, he's just going to charge up with the Buster Shot, and he's just going to alternate into the Race Splasher. And every time Beetle gets hit with a Race Splasher, he automatically jumps forward. And if he goes angry, fortunately, the Race Splasher actually cancels his little rainbow charge. Okay, now's a good time to talk about neons, actually. So, just like in X2, you have to have the air dash, and you have to have the double charge shot ability to perform them. What you do, you have to air dash, and then during the air dash, you have to fire a charge shot and jump on the same frame. So, if you're firing the first charge shot, you are already holding down charge. So, you have to release the charge and press jump while holding the dash button down during the air dash to get the neon jump. Because the first frame of a double charge, he actually grounds himself to the first frame.
Oh, okay.
Now to do and now we call that a release neon because you release the charge to do the jump, to do the neon jump. If you do the second neon jump, it's a press neon, so you're pressing the shot and you're pressing jump at the same time. So you're pressing two buttons at the same time. So that one is a lot easier to do if you're good at pressing a couple buttons
At the same time, yeah. The first one is more complicated because you have to release and you have to release charge and press jump at the same time.
Nice. Darren got the ice block kick. What he does, some of the weapons have unique properties when used in different places. The frost shield actually generates an ice block there when it's released underwater. So what Darren does, as the ice block forms on his buster, as it completes its form, it will detach itself from the buster, and at that moment he turns around so that he can actually wall kick off of it. And he was able to ledge grab the bottom of that overhang to get up to the kangaroo armor. And you can actually jump off out of the water like in X2. So it's so X2 and X3 are built off of the same, I guess, gameplay engine. So a lot of the tricks in X2 work in X3. So coming up is the Seahorse Quick Kill. He's going to hit Seahorse in the air, and as Seahorse falls to the ground, he's going to wait for a little bit, and then he's going to start mashing the shield into him. That's because the period that Seahorse's iframes run out, it runs out first, but he stays in a stun for a little bit longer, and he's going to mash before he jumps out, and he's able to do that a second time as you saw there.
Very nice 2-cycle. That is not easy to do.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and a sub 18 is really good at this point in the run.
World's best player.
World's best player.
So now that we finished 5 Maverick stages, Bite will start showing up in one of these remaining 3. So Blast Hornet right out of the gate, we've got another double neon with this big elevator shaft. Unfortunately, that first neon didn't go quite so good, and you have to avoid getting hit by those red enemies there. They can interrupt your ascent really quickly. So he's charging up for an acid shot here. He's going to do the CFO acid shot. He's going to let this acid go. It's going to release 2 giant acid balls. The first is going to hit him while the second goes over the shuriken, but eventually that shuriken's going to get hit by that one, and then he's going to CFO into the third and fourth shots, like that.
This weapon is so weird.
Yeah,
I'm glad it sees this usage in the run though, but it's a weird weapon.
The actual rod armor is actually hidden here in one of these hangars, but you gotta free it in order to use any of the Chimera versions. And right there, he just freed the armor off the corner of the screen. And then he's got a lot of dashing to do, so he's preparing for another neon. He's going for the press neon, and he gets it just to get this heart tank. Now, one thing I haven't covered yet, which I will probably when we get to the Catfish armor capsule, is there's actually, in addition to blue armor capsules that he's getting, there's actually pink ones that he's not getting right now.
Is it optimal to fight Bite here?
I don't think it really matters for Bite, but it's actually, the sooner the better, I think. You don't want to fight him in Catfish, just for the fact that you have to use drills on the Catfish fight.
Yeah, because it's Catfish's weakness, yeah.
But there is a strat that we do for Catfish that it doesn't really matter if Bite shows up there or not.
Okay, word.
Yeah, it's an energy conservation strat. The drill works a little differently than some of the other weapons because it consumes its energy based on the length of time it's out rather than just the usage. So Darren's going to start releasing the charged gravity well. This is the only time that the gravity well is really useful in a speedrun. And while Hornet is flashing from the charged gravity well, he actually has to pause and swap to a different weapon to cancel the gravity animation, just so he can get the hits in faster. And you see him, he's sneaking in a couple of eye shots, and that's because he's actually vulnerable when he comes out of that. So he just quickly fires an eye shot and goes right back to gravity well, and it's actually one weapon over. And he just fires the normal shot, which will interrupt Hornet immediately, reset his iframes, and start dealing damage again. And then he just repeats that cycle. V0o, actually, you actually have to find him, as opposed to where Bit and Bite will just show up for you. He's only found in three stages after that cutscene: Buffalo, Catfish, and Crawfish. But V0o only shows up in a stage you have yet to clear. So that eliminates Buffalo from the equation. And he just passed the area where you actually go down to fight V0o, but it's not really optimal to fight V0o in this stage because you don't have the Triad Thunder, which can help you out in the secret stage. So the sick neon's there to get around the spike elevators.
Ooh, nice CWJ there.
Yeah, he gets that kick. That's really tricky.
Dude, that was insane.
I've never seen that strat before.
So you notice that he's only getting the blue capsules now, and there's actually a pink capsule in the other 4 stages that do not have one. He's ignoring the pink ones for the fact that you're only allowed to equip one hyper chip, which actually further enhances one of your 4 armor pieces. But there is a hidden one in Doppler 1, which he will be getting, which is required for the 100%, and that will give him all 4 of the enhancement chips simultaneously, and he will get the hyper chip gold armor.
Oh, interesting. So, if you were to get those 4 capsules, would you be able to skip on the Doppler capsule and Crawfish?
The only problem is you're only allowed to equip one of the enhancement chips for the entire game. So
okay, so like getting another one would override the one that you have equipped.
Actually, if you which one you get, you can't even get any of the others because Dr. Light will say.
Despawns them.
Okay.
Dr. Light will sit there and say, "Oh, X, you already have an enhancement chip equipped. It is no longer possible to enhance yourself within the alien."
Okay, I see.
And in English it says, "Life is sometimes cruel, isn't it?" And he just disappears. But the capsule's still there. You can hop in it, but nothing happens.
Okay.
So kind of the lore, X was all of X's armor pieces has like a little enhancement chip that can get put in, but once he's been equipped with one, that's it. It locks all the other ones out. So Darren's using the CFO strat here with the acid, since it's one weapon over. So he's able to charge while he's got the weapon equipped, and just swaps over to Buster when he reaches the full charge. Okay, one of the things that Darren has to be mindful for. Oh, I think he got it just in time. If Volt Catfish gets that jolt in the middle of the screen, it actually nullifies 1 unit of damage off the charge drill. So he got that shot just in time. So he's able to kill Catfish slightly faster. If Catfish were to get that jolt, it would basically turn into an 80% fight.
I'd just like to point out how difficult the neons he was doing earlier in the stage were. Like, just banging them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are insane. Yeah, that's like the hot neon stage if you want to get really good at neons. They're used everywhere. Okay, so there's only one stage left that we've cleared, and we haven't fought Val yet. But so it's safe to say that, you know, we fight Val in this stage. And luckily, his capsule is found right after the halfway point. And that's a new strat right there. You actually release the charge triad right there. And it actually destroys the wall that's on the other side of that pillar. And he lets himself get damaged by the helmet to get control, so he can actually get over on top of that hole that will open up to get the Hawk armor, which he's just now using. And he's going to use that to open a hidden room for the Heart Tank. Nice. Getting the right armor through those gaps is a little tricky.
Not very tricky for world's best player, I gotta say.
Yeah.
So he's gonna fall through this little fake floor right here, and he's gonna go into the secret file stage. So he's going to use like different weapons to get up to the room. I'm going to talk about the Val fight and how critical this is. Unlike Bit and Bite, we actually want to destroy Val because that will allow us access to a special version of the Doppler 2 stage that will allow us to get the Saber. So Darren is going to be using the CFO strat here with Race Flasher. He's got the charge version stocked up, and it's going to deal 5 damage for consuming 2.5 units of energy, and then he's going to quickly get canceled out of that animation so he can do a quick Race Flasher, air dash to cancel the Race Flasher, and fire another Race Flasher and hold in charge to charge up for the Race Flasher pod. Now, when he does the second phase, ooh, I think he had a little mistake there. It's okay. Just the last hit matters with the Race Flasher. So he's going to try to do the same thing here. He's actually going to release the second Race Flasher pod right here on this side of the room. The bullets are going to deal 2 damage, and then the pod itself will deal an extra 5. And then here at the very end, nice, he gets it. Now you notice that he didn't have any energy. It didn't show that he had any energy, but he actually had 1/2 a unit. The weapon gauge only displays full units, so...
Oh, that's why you can still charge your weapon.
Yeah.
When it looks like you don't have any left, yeah. I've always found this fight really cool because, like you said, you use all of your ammo on this wild fight. Yeah,
you expend it all, and it's precisely routed so that you use every bit of it. Like, I have a tutorial video that kind of explains an older version. Probably not so optimal, but it's a good example to show why the strat works the way it does.
Damn, that room lags a lot, though.
Hey, I
room.
I hope you were taking notes, bud.
He almost got a 29, but not quite. So he's going into the sub, and he's getting ready to fight Crawfish. He's going to go into the engine room, a couple of charge shots will turn the sub on its side, and then he has to climb up to the room. So the way that the Crushed Crawfish quick kill works is that it's basically a weapon version CFO strat. It's just going to fire the Triad Thunder first and hold the charge. He's going to let Crawfish come to him so that he's going to let Crawfish run as far as he can, and then once he hits him with the Triad Thunder, he's going to quickly move over to the opposite side of the room, get right against the wall, and release the charge. Because Triad Thunder gives him 2 seconds to where he has no iframes, but he can still take damage. And as you see, the Earthquake Punch just does that to him.
That fight is so funny.
Yeah. Anybody want
nice iframes, by the way.
Anybody want any fried scissors shrimper?
Yeah.
Hey, guys want to eat?
Hell yeah, dude.
I just ate, but I could eat.
Yeah, same.
I like shrimp. I'm down.
Big fan.
So sub 38 Mavs is pretty good. Especially for a marathon setting, very nice. So we got all the Mavericks defeated, but as you notice, X is missing an armor piece. And he's actually missing 2 heart tanks as well, and a sub tank. So we have to do 2 revisits before we go to the Doppler stages. And we go to Beetle first to get the heart tank that's at the very beginning, and then we're going to go back to Tunnel Rhino to get all the items that are left there. Now the revisit order is actually important, and I'll explain why at the end of Tunnel Rhino. Nice, he gets the neon there.
Oh, does it have to do with the capsule upgrade?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Figured.
Alright. It is time for the dumbest stage in this game. I had to get that out there. It's actually not dumb, it's actually pretty nice. So he's using the charged Triad Thunder here to fry the ropes that are holding these boulders up. And then he's going to do that again to make his way to the armor capsule. But he also has a sub-tank that he didn't get at first. It's a lot easier to get now that you got the air dash. A little bit more optimal. And as you see, the Triad Thunder is really powerful. It takes out all of those drill wings in one shot. So it's really handy weapon. Gets the boulder skip, and now he's charging up for the next boulder. Oh, nice clippy clip, but didn't die, luckily. So the reason why we do the Rhino revisit last is because of this helmet upgrade. Because it will demonstrate what it does for X when he comes out, and it will generate a map of the entire stage, and will show any hidden item locations that are left unattained. Now, if you enter any 8 Maverick stage with this upgrade, it's going to automatically spawn the map before you can even do any movement, and that will cost you 5 seconds, roughly. So, you want to do that last.
Does it only show up when you enter a level, or can you, like, reopen it afterwards?
It only shows it to you the first time you teleport into the stage. And it's it only does that for the 8 Mavericks. So you notice it doesn't do that in Doppler.
Yeah.
So he's getting ready to do a neon. Oh, you missed it. But no problem. Oh, okay. He messed up a little bit there. He wants to come into this fight with Rex 2000 with the charged spinning blade. He's going to let the charge go at first, and then he's going to damage boost off his face, and then he's going to do another air dash over, and then he's going to fire a blade. And the way that the blade moves, you see it just arcs back and hits him in the back. Now, we're coming upon the gold armor. Now, it has a requirement to spawn. You have to get all the heart tanks, all the sub tanks, just like X1 and X2. You also have to get all 4 enhancement armor enhancements. And you also have to get all 4 armor pieces, and furthermore, you have to be full health when you get into the tunnel to spawn the capsule. So just like the Hadouken and the Shoryuken, you have to have full health to spawn the capsule to obtain the gold armor. And there you go. Once he gets the hyper chip, he turns gold. And now he has 4 additional abilities. He has a double air dash. He has health regeneration when he's standing still. He has an increased armor shield when he takes damage that will further protect him from additional damage. And most importantly is the hypercharge, which you will see that in action at the end of the next stage through the Saber Rush and for the final fights. But we'll get to that in just a minute. The God Card Machine fight is very easy and 100%, but don't sleep on it. You can take a lot of damage very easily. Oh, and he gets the bad RNG pattern. If he starts out with the hands there, it can actually absorb the Ray Splasher pod and will just completely blunt it.
Dang.
So he has to, and then.
So I guess he missed out on a little bit of damage there.
Yeah, you can actually wait for the hands to move and then release, but I mean it's no big deal. You just gotta watch your health because as you see, he took over half of his health bar in damage because of that little orb move that the God Card Machine tried to do when Darren was behind him. So Doppler 2 is like the biggest important stage in the game. This is where we get the Saber, and a couple other things happen here as well. But the very opening right here, as you see, the combination of the neons and swapping to the parasodic bomb to disable hitboxes, that's really execution heavy. So he's getting ready to charge a double neon.
Nice.
Gets it. Swaps to Zero, because this is the only boss that Zero can actually fight. And if Zero defeats Mosquitoes, Mosquitoes will actually collapse onto Zero, and Zero will actually take extreme damage. And he's going to try to set up for the double Zero glitch.
What? I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's a very tricky glitch.
That's sick.
He allows himself to get captured, and then he tries to kill Mosquitoes right against the wall, and then Mosquitoes will float down to Zero. But I think if the way that works, if Mosquitoes kind of does a collision into the wall, it just completely like ends his sequence. So coming up is the Ellie skip, which he's going to use the double dash in conjunction with Triad Thunder. And if he does the climb, and now we actually know how Explosion Skip actually works. It actually has to deal with the first item, or it has to deal with the first slot in the game memory. This is kind of akin to Wrong Warping in DKC2 a little bit, because it has to deal with the IDs.
Ooh.
And it actually the trick here is to preventing the snail from loading in the first slot, because that actually does something to the game that removes the explosion skip potential.
That was a very nice elevator skip. I don't think I've seen that variation of it.
So he's going to use the ranged saber here, be on the ground. Oh, he didn't get it. Dang. He didn't get explosion skip. You have to do the climb just right to get the explosion skip.
Mm-hmm.
But if for some reason one of the hellets is destroyed when you don't want it to, it actually opens up that slot for the snail to just jump in the memory, and it'll actually prevent the explosion skip from happening. It's Akiteru put out a video on this not too long ago, and he shows it in kind of good detail of why the explosion skip happens. But nice. one thing I didn't get a chance to explain is that he actually skipped the second shot of the Hyper C, and this is where the insane Saber Rush comes into play. This was actually derived from the task. Nero actually pioneered it when he did the X3 speedrun a few years ago, and he currently still has the world record. But the general idea is that he's going to start every boss fight here with Hyper C, with the exception of the 2 quick kills, Seahorse and Crawfish. He's going to start off with Hyper C. He's going to fire the first charge shot, and that's going to but it's going to take 2 units of energy away from his Hyper C meter. And he can only use Hyper C when it's fully ready to go. He cannot use it if it's any partially full at all. And the idea is that he's going to walk kick to interrupt the second shot so that it doesn't consume energy when he fires it. And then when he fires the saber, he's going to swap quickly to X-Buster to get the Hyper C meter off the screen so that it can't deduct energy when the saber comes out. The Hyper C allows you to fire the charge shots continuously without having to wait for a charge. So the idea is that he fires the first shot for the 2-unit consumption, he skips the second shot, he skips the energy consumption on the saber by swapping quickly to Buster, and then he just charges up normally for the second saber and takes damage in the process to get his Hyper C full again. There's a lot going on within like the first 5 seconds of the boss fight. But once you see it in action a couple of times, then you start to get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the boss order is actually redone because of this Hyper C trick. Normally you do like quick kills anytime you want, but now you actually have to do them last because you use the quick kills with the normal weapons to charge up your Hyper C for Doppler. And I believe for Catfish, you actually just expend the Hyper C. You don't do the trick on him, just because of how volatile his AI can get if you get his health below 16, because he'll go into his desperation phase. So the saber up close will deal exactly half of the boss's health, so 2 sabers will quickly dispatch each boss. And the beauty about the Z-Saber is that you do not need full health to use it, unlike the Shoryuken and the Hadouken. So he has to watch his health, but he should be fine. He can actually recharge his health a couple of times during this rush if he needs to. And depending on how much damage you take, depends on how fast the Hyper C quickly charges. So as you see, right there on Catfish, he's interrupting the second shot with that wall kick, and he's just throwing 2 sabers into him really quickly. And now you'll see him go into the Seahorse refight and the Crawfish refight now to start charging back up his Hyper C. And he'll have to take some damage from a couple of enemies before he gets to the Doppler room, so that the Hyper C will be very close to filling up. So I don't believe the 2 cycle is intended for Seahorse here. You actually need the extra hits to actually build up that Hyper C back.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you have to route. You actually have to route your instances of taking damage as well, because the intention is to have it ready when you take damage off of Doppler when you fight him.
Makes sense.
So yeah, it gets really, really hard to kind of keep up. You just have to kind of start slow, and then once you get used to the pattern, and then you'll see like everything play out.
That quick kill makes me laugh every time on Crawfish.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
That's the reason why you don't see the saber on those 2 bosses, because the quick kill is faster than actually the 2 sabers, just because of the done damage mechanics. So you see, I think Darren's trying to get a couple more hits here, because he's trying to get his Hyper C just about full. I think when he takes damage off of Doppler, he's going to get the last 2 bars of energy he needs. And then he's going to do the Hyper C conservation strats on the second hit of Doppler. He's going to fire the second charge into the wall to bait out his regeneration shield. Oh, he doesn't do that here. He waits for him to fire. I forgot about that. And as you see, he almost dies, but he's got enough health to hang on.
Not dead.
Yeah, I forgot that you actually you go in with the saber here.
World's best player, everyone.
World's best player.
So just to put into perspective how much time the new task strat saved for the Saber Rush, I think the gold for Saber Rush before was like a low, I want to say minutes, like 6 minutes and 5 seconds. I think Louise's or Nero's gold for the Saber Rush is like 5 minutes and 35 seconds or something like that.
Damn.
So it saves
Nice.
30 seconds at least, maybe 45.
A clean 30 seconds saved.
So he's going to take damage right here. And at that point, the Hyper C is full for him to just start spamming it into Captain America. And he turns around so that the Saber hits his hitbox as soon as the hitbox is active. So Darren's going to try to go for a quadruple neon here. He's going to ditch the first 2 shots into the armor, hit his head with the Saber, and then do it again. You can actually kill Kaiser Sigma here in midair if you're fast enough. And one thing I didn't get a chance to talk about, if you get hit while on Hyper C after you fired the first shot, your charge order actually gets reset, and you have to ditch the first shot again. So you're kind of in like a don't get hit situation with Hyper C if you intend to expend all of its energy. And like that, we got ourselves one more thing to do: climb the elevator.
The escape sequence.
But the escape sequence and not die.
Just don't die, please.
And
Yeah,
I
don't
see my
die.
fair
The lava is 1 bar of damage per hit, so
And time will end when he loses control at the top of the climb.
I think you'll be fine.
I've seen some people lose good runs because they want to swag out and whatnot in that last section, so yeah.
Nice run, Darren.
GG, nice run, Darren. Good shit.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people actually lose a PB to that. They actually died in the lava.
Oof.
Same.
I will not name who to protect their identity.
Plot twist, it's actually Justin.
Shoutouts to Pi.
I've never died to the lava climb on PB pace. I've made sure of that.
Thanks, bros.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, thanks for the run, Darren. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was
WB.
Yo, good shit.
that was good at the start, and then I don't know.
Hey, you actually
Your climbs were sick.
you actually beat my PB, Oxguard's PB. You know, all of us old guys that did.
Dude, that's because this game is easy.
Easy for the
Easy
world's
game.
best player. But I mean, that's like what, a minute off your PB, something like that.
What is it? 40.
Minute-
Yeah, a minute and a few
and
seconds.
4 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds.
World's best player.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit, dude. That was interesting though for no reset, because like there were times where I'd make a little mistake and then I was like, oh shit, now I gotta do this. But it's like,
Wins
I don't know,
world record for America.
For America.
dude.
America.
I know Louise and Madu are playing this, and Louise is getting close to reclaiming his throne. but
Dude, Louise is gonna get the 2x soon.
I
It's
like
inevitable.
I like to see Darren get it first, but
Dude, I'm too busy preparing for that Majora's Mask randomizer tournament.
Oh no.
Oh baby.
Oh, come on.
Randomizer is taking
Come
a
on.
world best player away from us. No.
No.
That's feel when.
The SRL killer.
Rando.
Randomizer killed speedrunner.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed the run. I know the commentary was fast paced, but yeah, there's a lot to
I thought you did great on commentary, Justin. Thank you.
That was great.
Yeah, thanks,
Justin.
Justin.
Impeccable.
to talk about in this game. There's just so
Mhm.
much.